have our invocation and our pledge before we begin our meeting. And I'm going to ask Mr. Dan Taylor, would you mind leading the invocation? And I'll ask Director Phipps if he would mind leading the pledge.
Lord, do thank you for this opportunity to serve the people of All Good and our community. And just ask you to lead with your wisdom, these members and all attendants for us, and trust in
Okay, Miss Anna, we're ready.
Honorable Mayor Fowler,
Here.
Honorable Councilman Bilbrey,
Here.
Honorable Councilman Williams,
Here.
Honorable Councilwoman Hawkins,
Here.
Honorable Vice Mayor Hill.
All right, we're going to take a break at this time. We have 3 new police officers that we would like to take this opportunity to introduce and to swear them in, and I have the privilege of doing that. So I would like for Alexander Presley, Cody Buck, and Timothy McHarg to please come forward. All right, we will now consider our agenda and the minutes. We've had the minutes emailed to us previously. We should have had a chance to look at them, but if I'd ask you to consider that now, and if there's anything that needs to be changed, please let me know. Thank you. We have a motion to approve the agenda and minutes. Do we have a second for those? Second. Thank you, Mr. Bilbrey. Okay, all those in favor of approving the agenda as it's presented, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All those in favor of approving the minutes of the council meeting held on July 8th, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, we'll move on. Into, let's see, we have consideration to appoint someone to the Board of Zoning Appeals for a term ending in October 2025. So this is a short appointment, but we've had 3 people that have shown interest in the position, and I was looking. I know Miss Judd and Mr. Roberts and Miss Farley. Here we go. Miss Joellen Farley, Miss Pat Judd, and Mr. John Roberts. I know Miss Judd is here. Are the other 2 here? No. Okay. All right. There's been a motion made by Mr. Williams to appoint Miss Pat Judd to the position. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Congratulations, Miss Judd. All right. Now, under new business, we have consider approval to surplus the attached list of items, and for everyone's, I don't know if we can get it up on the screen, but for everyone's information, we do have a list that is in process anyway. Would you like to?
So the list for August the 12th that we have is a paint striper, cement mixer, a Mack truck seat, a John Deere tractor seat, an AC blower and fan motor, a generator ×3, a Lincoln stick welder, a camper shell, a tonneau cover, a radio antenna, a Bobcat zero turn, miscellaneous oil filters, 50 chairs that are brown, mobile, oil canister pump, fire hose, 2 pallets, GE air compressor, miscellaneous cables, an AC compressor and clutch fan, a KK message board, and composite bottles. And I never got a number on the composite bottles from the fire chief. He was supposed to get that. But he has composite fire bottles that are no longer serviceable that we're just going to try to sell. Off and on, there are 3 older ones that we've had forever and ever and ever. One of them surplus Army, and one's an old home light that's been here forever, and the other one's been here for a long, long time. They're all small generators.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and approve the surplus, the items that Mr. Morrison has provided us with as of today's date. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. The next item on our agenda is to consider approval of an agreement with Mark's Pops for the 2026 fireworks in the amount of $12,000. If you recall, Mark's Pops has done our fireworks for several years, and this is our agreement that we usually pay half of it down and then half of it a little bit later. But Director Phipps, do you want to say anything about the fireworks?
Yeah, it's the same agreement. Actually, like the past 4 or 5, it requires us to give 50%, the $6,000 up front. That reserves the fireworks. the remaining 50% is paid the day of the show. If, in the event of a cancellation, the state has changed it to where we can have a rain date and not have to do another state application, so it made it a little bit easier. But if a rain date was rained out and we just decided to cancel the show, it would require 25% payment. That's standard. That's what we've been doing for years, and it's never come to that. And it covers everything from insurance and liability, indemnification, and all that. So it's just a standard contract like for the past several years.
And I thought that they are responsible for the permits, and they deal with the fire inspector and all of that,
Yes.
as I recall, and
They-
they do the setting up and the setting them off and all that. Is that correct?
They handle all that, and the state permitting office versus the fire marshal's office is doing it now. So there were a lot of changes, and she's on top of all those changes and
Great.
anticipates dealing with all that. So we should be good to go.
Okay. Thank you. Any discussion from the council? Okay. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and enter into this agreement with Mark's Pops for our 2026 fireworks in the amount of $12,000. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. And now we have the city administrator's report.
We've been updating sidewalks here at City Hall and around the farmers market in front of LBJ&C. Several water projects going on. The water project going on in the mountain was being pressure tested. They're preparing to pour the footers so that they can start building the block building for the pump house. As soon as the pump is operational, then we'll start working on the tank. So right now we're progressing with the lines and the taps, and that's moving forward at this time. Department heads, do you have anything?
Yeah, the Parks Department got a few smaller projects off the list this month. We got the new permanent city park sign at the Allgood Park installed. Lee Flatt over at Rap World made the sign, and we built the frame and got that installed. Looks pretty good. At the Walter Bilbrey Park, the slide climber, what I call the slide climber that's over near the swing sets, we repainted that, redid all the landscape timbers and the mulch around that, make that a little more usable. We dug out the swing wells at the swing set at the Walter Bilbrey Park, dug that down and then backfilled that with new mulch to bring that to ASTM standards of thickness for the fall height, make that a little bit safer, and then with shipping delays and whatnot. So it's working out pretty good. Got a lot of good feedback from that. People pretty happy with it.
Been more pickleball and tennis.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir. A lot of pickleball.
The lights might need
They're about half what they need to be. They're working and they're good, but they're not as bright as we had hoped. We'd already discussed that it lets you play, but it's not ideal, and that needs to be probably at least doubled. We think we can do what? Yes, sir. That's what we've got a way to do it, so we think we can do that in-house now. I just need to see about ordering the same lights that we got from Roland before. Yes, sir.
Currently, Axon is here installing our in-car video systems. Contacted the car dealership, and 3 vehicles should be delivered next week.
I didn't know if you wanted to mention the individual call activity, or, I mean, we have that information, looks like
I can if you'd like me.
634
Yeah. there's
calls.
181 traffic stops with 31 citations. The 27 general information reports, 24 separate investigations, 9 traffic accidents investigated with 1 injury accident. 192 property checks, 18 welfare checks, or correction, 16 welfare checks. 36 suspicious vehicles, suspicious persons, 1 obstruction in the roadway, 4 noise complaints, 1 vandalism, 4 thefts, 1 burglary. All we have.
Thank you, sir. And as an all good citizen and as a victim of a crime, I appreciate the efforts on the police department's activity or their efforts to keep me safe and keep me informed and my family. And I appreciate that very much. It makes me rest a lot easier. So that's just from a citizen standpoint. Thank you very much. Now, we have any hearings? Do we have any citizens that would like to address the council? And yes, sir. Just come up to the podium and tell us who you are.
My name is Calvin Hayes.
Okay, Mr. Hayes.
And I just want to speak. You got a great chief here. Keith Morrison is great. I met him. I haven't met him with. It's been fair and very great. And what you just said, I want to feel very safe like that too with the officers, you know. I want to ask you a question. If anybody's from Allgood, have we had a black community in Allgood, Tennessee? I believe we do. I believe we've been having one for a long time. With that being said, I got a problem with my neighbor. I'm asking for help with this issue. Chief knows about it, and I'm cool with that. But an incident happened. And I'm just here to share a little incident. My neighbor has been taunting me by shining a light on my house. The chief told me to give him a call if anything's going on. And I did that, and I'm cool with that. But as I stand here in front of you guys today, I'm scared of Chris Ferguson. Because during this, since May the 31st, this has been going on. It just started. But the chief asked me to give him a call if anything's going on, and to me, it's a problem, but it might not be a problem to anybody else what's going on with me and my neighbor. But I'm trying to deal with it and trying to move on. But this didn't start till we got these HUD homes moved in the heart of this black community over here where we've been living for years, before I was even born. But changes in life, it's happened. You know, we got other people living in the neighborhood. My daddy been going through this same problem. I got the home now, and I'm going through the problem. And I'm just asking, how do I go through this deal with my neighbor? I'm scared of him now. I thought he had a gun. I believe he had a gun one night after the officers came by. But to get to here, the reason why I'm scared of Chris Ferguson is because I called about the light. And I said, there's a noise ordinance around here, whether it's 10 or 11, I do not know. But anyway, he goes over and talk to the guy. They stay there till 10 o'clock. They back out. I told him that I was going to make the noise, so I made the noise. And he gives me a ticket. He says, it's not enough to take you to jail. I say, so I get my ticket. I come up here and pay for that. So that makes me spook to him because I don't feel like he was truly fair to me, you know. And I want to be able to call this chief, you know, and I appreciate you for everything you have done. But I talked to the chief the next day. I said, Chief, I don't feel safe anymore to call your sergeant, you know. I just want to feel as safe as you in my neighborhood where we did not have no problem in years. I remember when we had a basketball court up here by this post office, and a lot of black people used to come up there and play. Then that became a problem. They built a basketball court over here in our community. We still didn't have no problem. We didn't have a public bathroom. We didn't have seats over there. We enjoyed that because that's where they want the black people to be. So be it, they took that down. That's fine. We still make it over here. You know, we live and survive, you know. But like I said, I just moved over here 10 years ago. I wouldn't be up here today if it wasn't for my neighbor. But that's the only reason why I'm up here. I just want to share with everybody in this Allgood community. If we're a community, let's help one another. But treat me like you be treated when officers being called or anything. Don't make me be the bad guy, you know? I just want to be at peace in my life. I'm 51 years old, I'm retired, I'm happy, and I want to keep that. But I don't want nobody destroying my peace, I don't want to destroy nobody else's peace. But I got a problem with my neighbor, and I don't feel safe to call Chris Ferguson anymore. So I don't know what to do. I'm asking you people, all good community, to help me with my neighbor issue that's going on in my black community, or all good black community, not mine. But hey, when I die, I'm going right up the street from where I live at. Right up the street, y'all call it All Good Heritage Cemetery. We always call it the graveyard. Y'all might well call it All Good Black Cemetery. But it is what it is. But I just want to have peace in my life and continue this peace, and that's all I want. I'm just asking, treat me the same when I call the officers, but don't treat me to be the bad guy when I call the officers.
Yes, sir, I appreciate that, and it may be that it's a civil matter,
We in court now.
and you'll have to address it through the civil court, but, I mean, if the neighbor does anything that violates an all-good ordinance, you should never feel uncomfortable about calling, because they will respond, and now that you've aired your concern, I'm sure that, you know, they'll be aware of that, and,
Well, the guy was kind of in the road, you know, on the side of the road, and Ferguson said that's like parking the car in the road, so I'm not going to ask him to move. But if there was a line of black guys sitting in that road like that, he would have made every last one of us move, you know. All I'm saying is, everybody got to be fair to everybody, whether we black, white, Asian, or Mexican. Treat us
we're
the
all
same.
good.
That's
You know,
exactly
we're,
right.
you know, we're
That's all I just
we're
wanna
all the,
say. Let's all be all good, and let's just
Yeah.
treat everybody the same.
that's what we want.
Y'all have a, thank
Okay,
you for
thank you, Mr. Hayes, I appreciate it. Is there anyone else? Sure, we're all citizens. Here comes Mr. Gist.
Mayor and Councilman, I thank you for how you, how you're doing. But I'm a little perturbed on the junk on Webb Avenue and the junk on 4th Avenue plumb up to the interstate. I think all those belated houses, junk, and stuff should be moved out of our community, because I believe in keeping things straight. The way they're doing it would really cause the dead to rise up if they could. See all that mess and junk around. And I think somebody told me y'all was kind of doing something about that already.
We are, there has been some warnings written to these folks, they're on a timeline. Man on the web, somebody give him a house full of furniture, he decided to put it out in the front yard. Give him 30 days to get rid of it, he's been trying to sell it, I said, 30 days, it's got to go, it's the best doing furniture. I think that'll take care of that, no one on 4th Avenue, there's a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yes, we need to do something about it.
Well, your place is a shining example of what we'd like for everyone's to be as kept as yours. You certainly live what you preach, and we appreciate that.
Thank you. It only takes an effort, folks.
Yes,
It
sir.
can be done.
We'll try our best to stay on top of it and see that some things get changed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gist. Now, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, so the lawsuit's been served. We've got some that have signed over a quitclaim deed to exit their rights to the property, so we're working on that. So in September, we should have something for you all to vote on. We're not sure yet. I know we've got one confirmed, so.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Wes James. I just wanted to say thank you for getting those lights tennis courts. Yes, they might not be bright enough, but it's still better than no lights at all. So, hey, progress, we're seeing it. So, thank you.
And for those of you, again, as a citizen that might not be aware, we've had a former mayor to pass away, Mr. Jim Brown. He was a mayor here. He was school board member and a proud Navy veteran. And he was always willing to help and to be there. And I just wanted us to remember him and his family and offer them our sympathy and condolences for the passing of Mr. Brown. So if there are no other comments from the public or the council, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Ms. Hawkins, thank you very much. I'll be happy to We are adjourned until our next meeting, which is September the 9th.